You were the target of sometimes violent protests in California this week opposing your hardline immigration policy. Are you concerned that if you're the Republican nominee, these demonstrations could disrupt your campaign?
No, we were at that particular moment. We had 31,000 people in the stands. It was packed. They've never had a crowd like that. It's the biggest crowd they've ever had. We had 31,000 people. We didn't have a riot. We didn't have anybody even raise their hand. It was like a love fest for an hour and a half. It was incredible. I didn't even see the riot. I guess it was, you know, these are wise guys that stomp on policemen's cars, and it's a terrible thing that people are allowed to get away with this. These were professional agitators. They were wearing masks. The cops told me anytime you see a guy with a mask, you know he's a professional. And they were wearing masks. And these people have to be dealt with very strongly because you can't allow that to happen to a police car, you know, essentially. But this was an amazing evening where we had 31,000 people, and almost never, other than a couple of helicopter shots, did anybody see the crowd, the massiveness of the crowd. A record-setting crowd, and nobody even saw it. They only showed some guys making noise outside.
But, Mr. Trump, it isn't just, as you say, professional agitators. You've angered a lot of people in this country beyond even the illegal immigrants. In a recent poll, 15% of Hispanic voters have a favorable view of you, 81% unfavorable. I don't have to tell you, you cannot win in November with those numbers.
Well, I say those numbers are going way up once I start going. I have two more people I have to get rid of. I started off with 17, and one by one I knocked them off. I knocked off Jeb Bush, who was easy. I knocked off Walker. I knocked off a lot of very talented people. And frankly, I have to, you know, I have to do what I have to do. Now, once I start on Hillary, you'll see the numbers change. I mean, look, when I started this, everybody said, well, I'm not a professional politician, which is a good thing, by the way, but it's true. But one by one, I won, and now I'll have history. Watch what happens. Watch what happens with Hillary, and watch what happens with my numbers. But I've been hit with 55,000 negative ads, 55,000, over $100 million of negative ads. Kasich hasn't been hit with one ad. I mean, he's not going anywhere anyway, frankly, but he hasn't been hit with an ad, and neither is Cruz. I've been hit with 55,000 ads, and I'm still leading in a landslide, and I think doing really well in, as you probably have seen, I'm doing really well in Indiana. And one more thing, the last two polls that came out have me tied with Hillary, and one has me winning.